Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, you won't believe what the Catholic bishops have said regarding William Samoei Ruto.
Misplaced priorities. The culture of lies is swiftly replacing the integrity and respect that Kenyans deserve. Basically, it seems that truth does not exist, and if it does, it's only what the government says.
Nobody would have thought that at one particular time, the church would call out William Ruto for being a liar. Now, the church has listed a couple of issues with the government, even going to an extent of saying that these are things they discussed with the government, but the government has been constantly neglecting their plight. So the conference of bishops, Catholic bishops, called out William Ruto for being a liar, and even went to an extent of saying that it's either he is doing these things deliberately or he doesn't understand what Kenyans have as priority. So I want to take you to an explosive statement from the joint press that was issued, and this is something that happened today, the 14th of November 2024. You will be shocked if you've not watched that video. But before I share the video, please, I'd like to kindly request you to go below there and locate a button with the word subscribe. Please subscribe. That is the only way you make this channel grow. And you can also like this video. It's so important because that is the only way YouTube shares our content. Thanks so much for that support. Nobody, and I maintain that nobody would have imagined that at one particular time, the church would distance themselves from William Ruto's government. And this, to me, just pay attention to this video.
The culture of lies is swiftly replacing the integrity and respect that Kenyans deserve. Basically, it seems that truth does not exist, and if it does, it's only what the government says. Unfortunately, it seems that the Kenyans have helplessly tolerated the lies told to them constantly by politicians. Kenyans must learn not to applaud or validate the lies that the politicians tell them, but rather must resolve to seek and be led by the truth. When the government fails to fulfill its promises, particularly concerning payments to essential service providers, the neglect of faith-based organizations, hospitals, now owed billions in dues, is an issue we have addressed constantly, even with the president. We recall the pertinent and resolved issues we have raised recently with the government over taxation of Kenyans, the hiking of the missionary work permits, youth unemployment, regulations of the education system, especially the CBC and university loan scheme, the failure to constitute the IEBC, etc. We believe that genuine consultation of all concerned stakeholders in all these matters is necessary beyond the casual public participation. This culture of lies, unkept promises, and misplaced priorities is unacceptable and needs to be dealt with.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how many of you spotted a statement there whereby the bishops are saying that the truth does not exist in William Ruto's government. There's also a point there that they say that Kenyans are helpless because the government has failed to fulfill promises. They talk about the taxation. You know, these are things which even the Azimio used to complain about last year, the 2023, the reason why they went to the streets over taxations. Then there's this issue of IEBC. And we know that this issue of IEBC, formation of the IEBC or reconstitution of the IEBC, this is deliberate so that the MPs do not get recalled. Because I know there are so many citizens who want to recall their members of parliament. Then there's the issue of Banisa constituency, whereby by-election has not been conducted to date. So the issue of IEBC, basically from the words of the bishops, this could be a deliberate attempt. Then there's the issue of university funding model, whereby this is something that the university students have complained about, whereby they how these bands are being awarded to people. Like there's a case whereby there were twins who filled the portal, gave the same details, but the bands were different. So the big question was, how did that system award them different bands, whereby whereas they come from the same family, they are twins. So you've seen these things, ladies and gentlemen. Then there's the issue of selfish agenda, whereby this issue of presidential term limit being increased to 7 years, as opposed to the current constitutional term limit that gives a president 5 years in office, then can seek another 5 years in office. But then we understand, we remember this petition that was being pushed here and there, the motion that was being pushed, the motion to have the president go for seven years. But that matter, Kenyans responded to it harshly. So these are some of the things which the church has brought out and said that this government is selfish. Of course, they were giving these statements in also reaction to what the government did to Rigathi Gachagua. The church is not happy over what the government did to Rigathi Gachagua. So all these things compounded with the fact that SHA is not working, SHA is basically failing, the overtaxations. Then there's the issue of the church being forced to pay more taxes. These issues are the reasons why the church is not happy with William Samoei Ruto. The church is overly blamed. Of course, the church is overly blamed. Those pastors who used to go to State House, get money, and they campaigned for William Ruto, those carry the biggest blame. I don't know whether I should put the Catholic. I don't think Catholic played a role in this. They were a bit neutral. But these other churches played a critical role in making sure that Ruto got more votes. They traded that with money. That support was exchanged with some bags of money. This is one thing that is out there in the public domain. So the statement from the church, the Catholic bishops, it's very, very clear. The message is very clear that Ruto is fond of lies. The government is fond of lies. The government has not kept promises. This is a very huge statement to William Ruto. I think he needs to think twice. If the church can go to an extent of calling it out or saying it as it is like that, it means there is a problem, and William Ruto needs to be very careful. Or maybe we can say, even if he is very careful right now, he will still not make it in a re-election. Just go below the comment section. You can share your take on that part. Do you think Ruto is going to make it? I can't say, but I think you have some answers on that. You can take an opportunity below there and respond to that. So it's very clear, in a nutshell, what the church is saying is that Ruto cannot be trusted. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.